Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Welcome back in. It is a brand new live edition of Talking Ball. 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. Welcome in. 7 o'clock on the dot.
Hey, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't have to use my tape dispenser.
No, I tightened that yesterday.
Did you?
Yes.
I mean, I felt naked. I
brought the little wrench in and tightened it.
Nice.
You didn't even notice it yesterday. We didn't
was
even
it not there yesterday?
No, it was not even there yesterday.
Strawberry cake rolls.
Well, we're going to try those here in a little bit, but
wow.
It's a Wednesday of game week, and that can mean one thing, and one thing only. We go out to the phone lines and welcome in our 8th grader prognosticator to help us break it all down. We've got some doozies on the field this week. Grady the Greek joining us right out of the gates.
What's up, bud?
What's up?
Hey, man.
What's up?
How fun was it to go to school Monday?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Everybody was talking about it. It was good.
Felt a lot better about this one, though, didn't it?
Now, did you go onto the record? Like I had to go on the record. Did you go on the record to your classmates about Alabama predicting them to lose, or did you just not mention it?
Oh, I did not mention that.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So what were your thoughts when you watched the game? What were your thoughts on the Alabama-Georgia game?
You know, I thought offense played good, you know. I think defensive line's got to step up. I think we got to get better at stopping the run. But, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this week, Alabama entertains the Vanderbilt Commodores. First ranked matchup between the two since 1937. Alabama currently a 10.5-point favorite. Grady the Greek, you say?
We were all embryos, Grady.
Okay, so, you know, I think Vandy's going to run the ball unless something changes, of course. So, yeah, defense is going to have to step up. But I'm going to go Alabama 38, Vandy 30, MVP Ty Simpson.
Wow. Woo! Grady and I are so close. I got 38-28 Alabama, so you got under the number, which is 10.5, unless it's changed this morning. So you've got 38-30 Alabama winning, Ty Simpson being MVP.
Yes.
Okay. There you go.
All right.
So you're like me. You think
30.
Vandy's the real deal. I think they're absolutely the real deal.
Yes.
Now,
what scares you the most about Vanderbilt? You think 30 points? I mean, is it all Diego Pavia?
The quarterback, you know, the run game, that's what scares me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what, though? I think he is right there with a lot of Alabama fans is the fact that run defense for Alabama, it hasn't been spotless. It hasn't been intense. It's got to step up this week.
Well, Grady, I know you take your time and you always put a lot of thought into these picks. We've talked to your father, Hunter Royer, the head baseball coach at UAH. He tells us about this. So I got to ask you, though, do you think I'm crazy? Because I've been making the statement that I think Vandy may be a more complete team than Georgia. Am I crazy, or is Georgia better than Vandy, or Vandy better than Georgia?
I mean, it's still Vandy. I don't know.
It's so you're going still with the Vandy stigma. All right, but who are we gonna give the shout out to today?
Shout out to my grandmother Nani.
Okay, awesome.
And hey, by the way, I had to think about something here. Grady, was it this last week or the week before that you picked 2 games?
Last week.
So you went 1-1 because you picked A&M.
Yes.
Okay, so he did go 1-1.
He picked A&M. A&M won.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So he went 1-1.
Oh, yeah, well, 2-0, right? Because he picked Alabama and then he picked Texas A&M.
No, he picked Georgia by 2 touchdowns.
That's
why I was asking him that.
Oh, that's right. He
not let
did.
It was like because it was historic.
That's
it's
right.
the first time on our show
that he went against
Grady
Alabama.
the Greek had picked against the Tide. So, but he still went 1-1, is what I was trying to say.
That's right.
So he hit the Texas A&M Auburn. So, and it's only one game this week, Grady.
Yes.
Only one. All
right, bud. Well, enjoy your Wednesday of school. I know you're so looking forward to it.
Definitely, sure.
All right, enjoy it, bud.
Have a good weekend, Grady. Are you going to the game, Grady?
Oh, yes, sir, I am.
Oh, Grady the Greek will be in attendance.
Yeah.
Roll out the carpet. All right, bud. Enjoy.
If you see Johnny Manziel, tell him he's a has-been, Grady.
Yes, sir.
All right, Grady the Greek, kind enough to join us each and every Wednesday. Good stuff there from Grady. 38-30. Grady the Greek goes with Alabama over Vanderbilt.
Because Grady and I were on the same page last. We were both wrong.
Right.
I had Alabama losing. I had them losing to everybody knows that. I had them losing 28-23. Grady picked them 30. He picked Georgia 35-21 because that's why I said, Grady, this is historic. I think this is the first time you've picked against the Tide on our show. So then he went ahead and picked Texas A&M, so he still went 1-1.
So the beginning of the season, just to tell you, I mean, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, it's still Vanderbilt. It's still Vanderbilt. Why are we making such a big deal about this game? And why are we saying Vanderbilt is maybe a better, tougher opponent than Georgia? Well, remember in the beginning of the year, Las Vegas had plus 500 or even worse odds for Vanderbilt to make the college football playoffs.
Right.
Vanderbilt's odds now, according to Vegas and even according to ESPN's FPI, their Football Power Index, Vanderbilt has a better shot, a better percentage to make the college football playoffs than Penn State, Tennessee, Missouri, and even LSU.
And who is this again?
Vanderbilt.
Wow.
That just tells you, I mean, yes, you look at their schedule and you're going to say, well, you know, their best win, maybe South Carolina. They went on the road to Virginia Tech. But the way they have done it has been impressive.
No, that's what I've been saying, though. I mean, they've just smashed everybody they played. There hasn't been a last-second win or even a win where the game was in doubt in the fourth quarter.
Right.
I mean, probably the most concern was at halftime of the Virginia Tech game, but the second half was a complete – that's where my eyes got wide open. I was like, good Lord, they've outscored them like 34-0.
Right.
So that's why Alabama's got to be ready, and that's basically some of the premise that Grady was talking about. And we talked to Billy Derrick at Fandy 247 about it yesterday, and I mean, you know, that you got to be ready to roll. I mean, there's just no question about it, man. This is a really good football team. You know, Alabama's saying all the right things, just listening to the reaction of the players yesterday. And, you know, certainly Deontay Lawson, one of the team captains, was talking about what a playmaker that certainly Diego Pavia was. I mean, he has to have your complete attention after what happened a year ago.
Right.
I mean, that's why you can't rest on the laurels of, oh, well, we beat Georgia. That's one game. I mean, you've got a long SEC season coming up. I mean, that's just you've played one SEC game, you know. And
you got 7 more to go.
So you've got 7 more in the regular season to go, and Eastern Illinois. So you've got eight times to play and put yourself in position for a college football playoff berth. And you still have a loss to Florida State, who some of that luster got rubbed off last week because of Virginia, who's now in the top 25 themselves.
Right.
But, you know, now we're going to talk some Miami today with with Donno, Alex Donno, pardon me, from Locked On Canes. He also does post game for 104.3. And does and covers the Canes extensively. Also, for the Locked On Network, also covers the ACC as a whole. But He's been on our show. I mean, we had him on a couple of years ago covering the Miami Hurricanes, and I mean, it's going to be a really interesting ball game. And I find it And I think part of it's because of the home field advantage for Florida State. But last I checked, I think that spread is only 4.5. It's
we'll have to look at it here in a minute. But yeah. But so yesterday, Clark Lee, who, by the way, if you ever get a chance to sit down and visit with Clark Lee,
he's a fascinating guy.
Oh, he is so fascinating. Well, he was asked about, and Grady even kind of alluded to it a little bit, and he's like, no, it's still Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's history in Tuscaloosa is not very good.
No.
Clark Lee was asked about that history earlier.
I know you know the history with Vanderbilt and Tuscaloosa and how long it's been since you guys have won there.
I don't know that history, so
I don't know a whole lot of it.
Okay.
to change like things of the past like that, though, how much of it is just believing that you can do it? Like you mentioned, this team doesn't have skepticism, like they all believe they can do it. How big of a deal is that when you go into a place you haven't won at for a while?
We just don't. Usually that's me and Laura talking after the game and saying, hey, some of these have been like, whatever it was, 1918 when we scored 70 whatever points. And my response to that is like, what in the world were they doing in 1918 to be able to score that many points? Was that tempo offense and spread? I mean, my God. We just don't pay a lot of attention to that. We're creating our own history here. That's how we see it. And that really is the spirit of this group. And I mean, even in the way this is Team 5, it's not because the history of this program isn't important, right? I'm a part of the history of this program, but there was an intentional, purposeful break to say what has happened before has no bearing on what is to come. And here we are 5 years in, and we've the kind of the methodical and investment over time, the painstaking, the suffering and sacrifice have given way to a program that feels solid and feels whole, and I think gives us a chance to again create the history we want to actually define this.
There you go, Clark Lee on the history.
Yeah, I mean, and he's taking the exact right. I think avenue. I think when you start talking about Vanderbilt football and the history, and that's the path to and the way to attack it,
right?
Because look, the history of Vanderbilt football and in the last 100 years has nothing to do with what happens on Saturday. It has everything it has to do with is the players and the coaches that are going to be going to battle inside Bryant-Denny Stadium. I mean, it's this year. Nothing. I mean, Kalen DeBoer already kind of talked about it on Monday on Alabama's media day. Last year's game doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Now, it was historic for Vanderbilt because it was the first time they'd beaten Alabama since 1984. And ironically, that game in 84 was in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, 17-1 mark is Alabama hosting Vanderbilt.
Yeah, but
in Tuscaloosa.
But they lost one in 84.
Yes.
So it's already happened. And no, Clark Lee wasn't on the team at that point in time. He played for Bobby Johnson in the 90s. But, this Vanderbilt football team is different. They're really good. And, again, Georgia was supposed to get revenge on Saturday. Everybody picked Georgia except for, I know even though he admitted he thought, that Alabama was, should have been the underdog and he thought Georgia was the better team. Look, we talked to, so many people last week, and including the film guy,
Brooks
Austin. And he felt like he thought Georgia was the better team on paper, but he picked Alabama because until Georgia beats them, I have to see it to believe it. And Brooks was one of the few that picked Alabama. There was a handful around the country, but most just said Alabama couldn't play on the road under Kalen DeBoer, and they picked the dogs. And it was understandable. I mean, I did. Georgia had won 33 in a row and had found a way to beat Tennessee when it looked extremely bleak in Knoxville. And so, you knew they were going to fight. And it came down to, Gene Stallings used to talk about 3 to 5 plays, and that's what it came down to. And
Right.
Alabama was able to hold on and win in Athens, but it wasn't easy. And so now, I've been saying this was, I'm not going to call it a trap game, because look, Alabama should have full focus on Vanderbilt after what happened last year.
Right.
But that still doesn't guarantee you're going to win. You got to go out and execute, because like I've said, this Vandy team looks better than the one a year ago.
Right.
A year ago, I didn't think Vandy was going to beat Alabama. Would I have been shocked that they played Alabama tight? Yeah, but I still thought Alabama would pull away and win by double digits. They did not.
Right.
Matter of fact, they never led. So that's where it's got to have your complete attention. Is Alabama needs to start fast like they did against Georgia. They need to front run, and they need to protect the football, because they need to play keep away from Vanderbilt.
Yep. All right, because Vanderbilt will play keep away from you. If you let Vanderbilt have the ball, they will win the time of possession. That is what they want. Mm-hmm. If they have that, Vanderbilt will have success. All right, let's get a break in. When we come back, we will open them up. We will open up the strawberry Swiss cake rolls.
Yeah, I told somebody yesterday who was listening. He didn't listen to the end of the show. I said, he said, well, I heard you when you said somebody might show up at the front door. And I said, unbelievably, strawberry showed up with strawberry.
Yep. And we will partake in the strawberry Swiss cake roll taste test coming up.
One of our listeners stopped at Foodland. He couldn't find them.
Well, we've got them here, and we will sample them next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call Trajan today at 256-208-9000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
This is your home for Alabama football.
Jam Miller, the running back, will get the handoff. He'll stay on his feet. He'll turn it up. He'll go down the sideline. 10-5, touchdown, Alabama. Jam Miller, icing on the cake.
This is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
All right, it is 7:20 on a Wednesday morning. Welcome back in Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Plenty of college football to get to. Plenty of Major League Baseball. We'll throw in some Major League Baseball conversation.
Yankees lose. Yankees lose.
Indeed, the Yankees do lose.
And I tagged you
Tigers
yesterday when the Cubs got the last out.
Cubs over the Padres 3-1. Back-to-back home runs, solo home runs for the Cubs in the bottom of the fifth. Tigers over the Guardians 2-1. Red Sox over the Yankees 3-1. And the Dodgers over the Reds 10-5. It is worth noting that today for the Tigers, game 2 of that wild card best-of-3 series, the Tigers will turn the ball over to former Auburn Tiger Casey Mize in game 2 today. Mize was left off the playoff roster last season, not this year. One of the things, though, that we did say we were going to do when we came back from break was sample this strawberry Swiss cake roll that we were given to by one of our listeners.
It smells really sweet, dude.
It smells like really sweet.
It really does.
Whew. Woo. It's got
that cream's a little sweet, I think.
Oh, good one. Trying to figure out where the strawberry taste is.
Well, I mean, it tastes a little different than the white cream a little bit, you know?
Not much. It is a little bit more sugar. Wow.
Yeah, I think it's a little sugar. Is that a word?
It is now. Word? Brody, your thoughts. Oh,
Brody,
man. Whew.
Yeah.
I've had worse, and I've had better.
I don't know if it's the fact that I'm eating all this sugar at 7:22 in the morning.
I think that's the main thing.
Right there. Okay.
But I will say this.
Take one more bite.
It's tasty. I mean, it just tastes like a kind of a Swiss cake roll on steroids. But I have to admit, it's not as good as your donut from Iowa.
Now, if they had
the Donut Land cherry donut, yes.
Yeah. If they had like a zebra cake version of that.
Oh, the super! You want a cherry donut?
If they had like a zebra cake version of that, that would be it. Right
well,
there.
the good news is, we are in the birthday month.
Yeah.
And so there may be a trip made from Iowa to Alabama coming up here in the next 2-3 weeks.
What you're telling us?
Uh-huh. So we could have some cherry cake donuts delivered from Iowa here coming up. Yes. Anyway, those are interesting.
Those trips.
Those are interesting. The strawberry Swiss cake rolls.
They're just a little bit sweeter.
They are a little bit sweeter. Wow. Mm-hmm. Good thing I brought the water in today.
Me too. I've got G2 Gatorade at least. At least it's not. It's definitely not leaded.
All right, let's go out to the phone lines. Brandon is with us this morning. Good morning, Brandon.
Morning. So, Alabama A&M plays Alabama State, and Florida A&M plays Alabama State, and the Florida A&M announcer Joe Bullard calls out the honeybees and says they're in the face of Ozempic.
Yeah, he did that over the PA system on Saturday and got himself in a little bit of hot water.
Now, hold on again. What did he say?
So Alabama State has, and they have become prominent and they've become widely known across college football. They've been on Oprah. They've been on, they were the honeybees. They're a dance team for Alabama State. And they are not your traditional looking dance team.
Yeah, because the Alabama State Hornets.
Right. But they are, they're not your traditional, roll them out, cookie cut type of dance team.
Right.
Well, the FAMU PA announcer went over the PA system on Saturday. It was a home game for FAMU and said that they are the face of Ozempic, which is a weight loss drug, which is a weight loss medicine that you can use. Yeah, he got himself in a little bit of hot water for that one. FAMU had to issue some public apologies.
A little dicey.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to take shots at the view, do that. But these are some lovely ladies, and that's uncalled for. And if he hadn't been there for like 50 years, I think he'd be unemployed right now.
Well, I would not be surprised if eventually that is not the case. I mean, in a situation like this, in a situation like that.
What Scott is saying is he thinks at the end of the season he may be retired.
Yeah.
Well, I saw that and I thought, really? I was like, some people have got a large pair and a small brain. You just don't do stuff like that. Just totally uncalled for. So what's the review? 7 to 10, 8 to 10? What are we looking at on the snacks here?
See, to me, Swiss cake rolls are one of those ones where you don't mess with, like a Nutty Buddy, Swiss cake roll. You don't mess with it. To me, I'm going to go 4.
4?
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not. I mean, look, it does not. It does not
Less
have.
than 5?
Yes, it doesn't have an overwhelming strawberry taste to it.
I think Brody just went 6.
See, so I'm not too far off. What are you going with?
I'm going to go probably 7.
See,
because I mean, they taste like a regular Swiss cake roll, which I've always liked, but it's just a little sweeter. I mean, I will admit it's not a huge strawberry taste, but
that's the thing. I was expecting a strawberry taste to it, and I don't have it.
It's still a Swiss cake roll,
right?
So I'm not going to go 4. That's brutal. He's like one of these French guys on these dang Bobby plays triple threat. I like this dish, but it's got this wrong and that wrong and this and then they give you a 6.
But I tell you what, there is no mistaking. There is no mistaking that thing is sweet.
Oh, you can smell it.
It is sweet.
Yeah.
Scott coming in with the 4, kneecapping it like Tyreek Hill.
Uh-oh. I mean,
Roll Tide's going.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, I mean, it is sweet.
And now we got a message on our messenger, and I don't think I could try this, Scott.
What?
He's asking if we've tried it.
What is it?
You've probably seen it. You shop even more than I do at all these grocery stores. He wants to know if we've tried the oatmeal cream pie Bluebell ice cream by the Little Debbie stuff.
No, but we can probably make that happen.
I mean, I don't know. I love oatmeal cream pies, but in an ice cream that kind of scares me a little bit, man.
I don't know. We can probably make that happen.
It is, by the way. Just
it's in blue. Okay, all right.
It looks like the oatmeal. Regular oatmeal cream
dang,
pies.
That thing is sweet. Just, been 10 minutes since I've eaten it. It still feels like I'm still eating it.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh.
No, I can be honest. I have seen that in the freezer, this Bluebell stuff.
Right.
But I haven't tried it. And I like Bluebell ice cream, but it just kind of makes you nervous because it's oatmeal cream pie. It's what you just got through saying. An oatmeal cream pie is an oatmeal cream pie. It's a staple, and we all know
it is.
It became legendary because of Nick Saban and all that.
Yes.
And by the way, that's still one of the funniest ESPN commercials he ever did when he's looking this way and he eats a oatmeal cream pie. He sneaks one, but still, I mean, I don't know. The ice cream, I don't know. That kind of scares me a little bit.
All I know is that, man, I might eat. Wow. Yeah.
Scott will never have one of these anymore, people.
No, that's it on those.
Yeah. I don't know what he's going to do with the rest of his box, but
I told my wife I would drop them off at her work.
There you go. Donate them to the people.
I'm going to donate them to the people.
To the people
she
with
was
their
like,
coffee,
She goes, well, we don't want them. And I said,
Yeah.
you got a bunch of guys. Well, we got breaking news. What is the breaking news?
Joe Flacco's bench. They're starting. Shador.
I thought we were going to have real breaking news.
Yeah, they kind of leaked this yesterday.
Yeah, it's from the Cleveland Sucks.
Yeah, they're awful, but
Anyway, 2-5. Okay, hey, just
Dylan
a couple.
Gabriel will start. Shador overrated is still continuing to take splinters out of his rear end.
A couple notes that we want to pass along real fast. The 2026 SEC Football Media Days will be in Tampa Bay, Florida next year.
636 miles.
10 and a half hours.
When I Googled it, this probably meant no stops for food, but it said 9 hours and 56 minutes.
It'll be 10 hours. It's like driving to Dallas.
Well, a friend of mine's already said we've got to come up with a new song. We can't do Eastbound and Down this time.
We'll have to figure something out. And the 2027 season of the college football, which means the 2028 college football playoffs, will be played in New Orleans. First time since 2020 that New Orleans will host the College Football National Championship game, and they will do so for the 2027 season. January 24th is when that game will be played. But there you go, SEC Football Media Days next year. We will be road tripping to Tampa Bay. So have no idea why we are going to Tampa Bay, but we are. All right.
What? Now, this is something I would like to try. I love how these people, we got a great audience that sends us stuff, and who knows, somebody may drop these off at the door. But I'd like to try this. See, are you a pumpkin spice person?
No.
You're not.
No,
Okay.
but I will try stuff because we do it here on the show.
Well, Freddie Kirby. He won't mind me quoting him on this. He did buy. He was the one trying to find these at Foodland. He found oatmeal pies with pumpkin spice. Now I'm not scared to try those.
Good gosh. Last night I went to Nothing But Noodles last night.
Did you?
Okay. And I love their Chipotle pasta or whatever, their Southwest Chipotle pasta. And I asked the lady, I said, can you make it with light spice tonight? I did not want a lot of spice in it. And I get home and I eat it, and I think they tripled the spice in it. Oh, my
God. That sounds like when I got that, when you gave me all
I could not eat it.
When somebody emptied the hot honey chicken sauce in the Jersey Mike's, and I was about to die. And I was on the phone with, ironically, Freddie, and he thought I was dying because I was crying my eyes out.
I could not eat it all. So basically, I took about 5 bites and was like, "That's it."
My goodness.
I did not. All right. Brody is waving his hands, not because he wants another strawberry roll, but because he wants us to take a break.
Because we have a guest coming up.
Mark McLeod on the other side. We're going to talk a little Florida football. They've got one. They've got an interesting one on Saturday with the Texas Longhorns and some cat named Arch Manning. We'll fill you in next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly to partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 80s. Temperatures a bit above average when you consider the fact that it's the first day of October. Dropping into the mid 60s as we head into the overnight. A mostly sunny sky Thursday afternoon. Temperatures only climbing into the lower 80s and then dropping into the upper 50s Thursday night, early Friday morning.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Week 6 is here for the high school football campaign. Coming up over the airwaves of 97.7 ESPN The Zone, Buckhorn visits Fort Payne. Madison Academy visits Stevenson to take on North Jackson. That's on the Mustang Zone. Randolph is home to DAR. And the Sparkman Senators take on the Bob Jones Patriots at Madison City School Stadium. Follow all the action on our streaming network and be sure and download our app.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. You know it's hot outside, so cool down with an upright or chest freezer in stock at Owen Home Appliance Center. And don't let those beverages get hot. Get an under-counter ice machine with a built-in pump for just $12.99. Or how about a fridge out by the pool or in the garage for extra cold drinks? You can get a scratch and dent 18 cubic foot refrigerator for just $3.49 while supplies last. Go to owenappliance.com to learn more. That's owenappliance.com.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
The Tom Abraham Show. Weekdays beginning at noon on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZZN TV.
All right, coming up on Saturday, the Florida Gators and Billy Napier are going to welcome in Arch Manning and the Texas Longhorns. We tipped on this one or touched on this one a little bit yesterday because the over-under for this ball game is 41.5. Texas is a 6.5-point favorite on the road. Now we've talked about Arch Manning. He's thrown for 888 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, has not looked lights out, but he did come in with a lot of banner, came in with a lot of headlines, came in with a lot of expectations. But at the same time, too, those that probably understand college football and knew college football to a huge degree, and I'm not making excuses, but you could say that he's making his first real starts in a full season for Texas. He had a couple last year, and so he's going to have bumps in the road. You can almost parallel that to DJ Lagway. DJ Lagway last year came in for Florida, off the bench, replaced Graham Mertz, and was lightning in a bottle. This year, DJ Lagway, again, going through some struggles, kind of like Arch Manning. They're almost parallel to each other.
Well, these were the two quarterbacks creating the most buzz at SEC Media Days. And I know DJ Lagway in his suit, he looked like $1 million.
Yeah.
6 foot 2.5, about 241 pounds. Our next guest, nobody knows the Gators as well as he does. It's been a minute since we've featured him, but I wanted to bring him into the conversation. He is host of The Blitz with Mark McLeod and the Gator Blitz podcast, blitzsportsradio.com. And we're going to talk with Mark McLeod about Florida, about this game coming up on Saturday, and about the future which still looks like they're going to hit the reset button. Mark, it's great to have you back in the Rocket City of Huntsville. You're with Drew and Scott. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, guys. Always good to be on with you.
Thank you. We were a few minutes late. We've been eating Debbie cakes, and Scott almost had a coronary.
They're full of sugar.
No, Scott's not a big sugar guy, so it kind of knocked him around. And but we're good now. We kind of feel a little bit like the Gators offense, but this is interesting. We had a caller, B. Rich, called in yesterday, and he picked Florida to upset Texas on Saturday in the Swamp.
Did he have some of those donuts?
I can tell Mark took a little hesitation there.
Mark, but here's the thing, though, and I can see probably why he might think that way. And last year, Florida fans were hitting the panic button because of the way the defense played early. The defense got better in this one. The defense, I don't think, has been the problem.
Not this year.
It's been the inconsistent play of the offense. And if they can figure that out somehow this weekend, then they have a chance.
Yeah, and I'm sure the thought is to, you get the crowd behind you in the Swamp, although it's not a night game, which would help, but Florida's fans have had no issue with 3:30 kickoffs. That's never been an issue there. They upset Auburn a few years ago. Boy, I tell you what a game that was. And that was an early kick. I just, the problem with that is when you look at Texas hasn't played a football game since September 20th. Yeah. So they've had time to prepare. Mm-hmm. That's one angle. And then certainly just so many issues with the offense, guys. I mean, this is a veteran offensive line. They just can't seem to fully put it together between, mistakes, missed assignments, a penalty here and there, whatever it's been. It's just been a very difficult look for this offense. And then there have been times, guys, that you go back to the LSU game. There was a series, actually, I'll go 2 series where they were starting to get a push on the LSU front. And you could see Jaden Ball running the ball very effectively. Jacoby Jackson came in and he had a couple carries that were very effective for Florida. And then they get down there. Billy Napier says, no, let's throw 2 incomplete passes. And then they tried to run the ball in third. And you're going, wait a minute, what are you doing? And then, of course, the poor clock management in that game as time was winding down, and just a lot of issues for Florida. And that's kind of, they've given, this is a veteran offensive line I talked about. They've already given up 9 sacks this season. So it's a very difficult time for the Florida offense, as you guys have pointed out.
And Mark, it's interesting with Billy Napier's tenure. When he first got there, we featured you, and we talked about this both on the show and off the air. The defense was the biggest issue when Billy first got there, and he had Anthony Richardson, who was a talented guy, but was kind of enigmatic, kind of like Jalen Milroe at Alabama, talented. And they had some bright moments, including the victory over Utah. Then he got Graham Mertz, and it was very unfortunate that Mertz got hurt last year, even though Florida responded, because people don't understand he actually played at a high level when he was healthy. But it's funny that the defense with Billy Napier bringing in good players, and he's got a good roster, I believe. It's steadily improved. He brought in Ron Roberts. He made changes, but the stubbornness of not giving up the play calling, and then and I think Lagway also with his injury situation, and then them not bringing in another quarterback to. In other words, if Lagway was injured or ineffective. It's funny that now that's the offense that is nosedived.
Yeah, you're right, and he should have fired his offensive coordinator a few years ago.
Himself,
we all know that himself, exactly. but he can't bring himself to do it. You look, and your point is very well taken, Drew, because Patrick Toney came with him from Louisville or Louisiana. I'm sorry, to run the Florida defense. That lasted a year, and that was not good. They move away from that. They bring in Austin Armstrong. He goes to Alabama as the linebacker coach. Billy says to everybody and tells all of us in the meeting, no, I believe this guy's ready to be a really good defensive coordinator in the Southeastern Conference. He may be elite level. And he told us all that. Mm-hmm. And we saw what happened there. Ron Roberts has to take over the offense or the defense. Thank goodness he brought Ron Roberts in. And now, of course, you got Sunseri here with Ron Roberts, and the defense has really clicked. But he never could bring himself to do what he needed to do with the offense. And part of that may be because I asked him a question 2 years ago prior to Lagway coming in. It was just prior to his coming in about the quarterback play. And I said, with what you want to do offensively, Graham Mertz is not the dual threat quarterback. Do you feel like with what you want to do is DJ Lagway better suited to help you accomplish your goals offensively? And he said yes. And he talked about that. But guys, you go back and you think about Anthony Richardson. There were two games I can think of in particular where he should have run the ball a few more times. He had open field, but he insisted on throwing the ball downfield. And I asked him in a post-game press conference, did you just you didn't want to run? He goes, no, I didn't really want to run the ball. I wanted to throw it. And that's what he's got DJ Lagway doing. If you look at him, DJ's not running the ball very often at all as a dual threat quarterback. So this is Billy's offense, and this is what he wants.
So then how does it then look for Saturday? If you're looking at this game, Vegas has it as a 41.5 over under. So they either think Florida's offense is going to be non-existent or both defenses are going to rise up and play really well on Saturday.
Wow. Scott, how is the Florida defense going to rise up and play well? I'm curious about that because right now you have Caleb Banks, starter, a guy who these mock draft guys say would be a mid to late first round pick. He's been out. He's out. Michael Burrow, who started on the nose, he's injured, so we don't know his status as of yet. We'll know later, maybe. George Gumbs Jr., who is a starter at the Jack, he's out or has been out. The rumor is that he won't be available. L.J. McCray, one of their top reserves at D end, and a guy who could drop down a little bit, he's out. Now you got Ejon Johnson, starter at corner. Aaron Gates, they just announced Aaron Gates, who's been a really effective player at the nickel, working with Sharif Denson. He's out. So, I mean, the injuries is just unbelievable for Florida right now. And you've got 3 or 4 starters out, at least 3 starters out, and 3 of them for the year. So it's a bad situation. I looked out there in that last game, guys. I looked out there in the fourth quarter, and at one point, Florida had 2 freshmen and a guy who started the season as I guess what you would call your third team rush end out on the field at the same time. And, you look at that fourth quarter and Florida just melted down. They melted down against Miami. They melted down against LSU.
Wow.
Yeah, they did. And Mark, I mean, you talked about the not having a problem, with these, afternoon kickoffs and the Swamp being excited, but how excited are they right now? Because for the, I don't know, we know Billy's tenure has just been, it's just been so, it's like a roller coaster, up and down, up and down. Is the energy sucked out of the program? Are they excited about this opportunity to play a top 10 team in Texas? What's the atmosphere like going into this game?
I think it'll be really good at the beginning of the game, but to your point, if things start looking like they did, you're making some bizarre calls offensively, penalties, some poor coaching decisions here and there, guys not finishing their blocks or whatever it may be, a sack here or there on Lagway. I think they lose the crowd. I think they lose it. I think, look, I believe he's just a dead man walking. He really is. You go back to the 23 season, guys, Florida lost, 5 games in a row. Last year, that was to end the season. Last year in 24, they started horribly, as we all know, and we thought any minute now he could be gone. And then they put it together at the end of the year and won 5 games consecutive. And then they come out this year with the crowd behind them, everybody saying, okay, you won your last 5 games of the 24 season. Now you've got your start. Here we go. Billy said the same thing. He was encouraging everybody. Hey, we're back, guys. We're where we need to be. We're where the program wants to be. We've got a little bit of work to do, but we're okay. And boom, they start off the way they have. And so, yeah, they've lost everybody. And I think everybody has accepted the fact that he's just a dead man walking.
If it goes horribly bad on Saturday, and this is the second week in a row we've asked this about an SEC team. Last week it was Arkansas, and
we know what happened to Sam.
We know what happened there. I'm not saying that Florida's going to lay down like Arkansas did on Saturday, because that was embarrassing. But if it goes bad for Florida this weekend, Mark, is there any possibility that Florida does an in-season, not even just this week, but even in the next week or two? Is there any way that Florida makes an in-season change?
You know, I think they almost have to, Scott. I really do. I think they have to. I mean, losing to Texas, you know, everything that everybody talked about, well, the schedule's tough, but you can get off to a good start against Long Island University and USF, and then you have that murderous 4-game stretch. But if you can go 2-2 during those, well, you lose to Texas, and now you're staring down the throat of going to College Station and taking on Texas A&M. Oh my goodness. I almost think they just have to. And the only guy on their staff who's had head coaching experience is Ron Roberts. So do you turn it over to him? Who do you turn the offense over to? You know, that's going to be the interesting thing. But I almost think you have to. I really do, just to reassure everybody, because the boosters, if it's ugly tomorrow or Saturday, as you said, if it's ugly, I think you're going to have a lot of the boosters really unglued and say, come on, Strickland. This needs to end now. This needs to end. We can't. How are we going to have any confidence going out to Texas A&M and trying to build this thing back? If they look much better against Texas and things look really good, it's a good competitive game, then I think he remains the head coach. But if it's ugly, I don't see how they don't make a change.
Well, and Strickland got a 5-year contract, so I know we talked last year about them kind of being tied together, because Strickland, went to bat for Billy and basically, said he will be back next year. And of course, there's been you also told us about the instability with the school president. But what's the temperature now? I would think with Strickland's contract that he's still, now the boosters may make this higher, but he looks like he's still going to be there. Is that going to be the case?
Yeah, I didn't understand the extension. I mean, look,
that was surprising.
We all get that Todd Golden and Florida basketball
was
a huge feather in the hat for Scott Strickland. It really was. Thank goodness, because Florida baseball did him no favors again this year. And, there's been some other struggles in some other sports. But and they've had some coaching turnover. You do coach in the soccer field, gymnastics. So they've had a few moves that he's had to make, and looks like now he's going to have to make one in football. I mean, I just don't see, I just don't see it happening. But we'll see what happens on Saturday. That's why they play the game, I guess.
Yeah, and finally, is it Lane Kiffin watch for the fan base?
Yes.
No hesitation.
Yeah.
Didn't even pause.
Some guy last week already put, well, there's a flight from Oxford, Mississippi to Gainesville, Florida coming down. And you're like, really? Are you serious? You think he's that obvious? He's got a big game coming up Saturday. He's not flying into Gainesville to talk to him about the job in September.
Oh, man. Mark McLeod, always with great stuff, great insight. We appreciate it. Let everybody know how to connect with you, man.
Yeah, I'm doing some stuff again for BlitzSportsRadio.com, and then obviously at McLeod Live, McLeod Live. Always good to be on with you guys.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. All right, let's get that break in, wrap up hour one next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You can now do more without it costing you more. Alabama's attractions have come together to offer the all-in-one ticket that downloads to your mobile device. No matter how many attractions listed on the ticket you see during the time span you bought, your price stays the same. Pick the right ticket option that best fits your schedule, and then enjoy more attractions without spending more. All-in-one tickets for different areas of Alabama are available at alabama.travel and other places where online tickets are sold. Brought to you by Alabama Tourism Department, the ABA, and this station.
Hey, brother. Saw you call.
John, I've been thinking about our days during the war, and I'm on my way. Thanks, man.
If you are a veteran struggling with depression, anxiety, or need someone to talk to, call 800-273-8255. Press 1. It's private and free 24/7. Call 800-273-8255 or visit vetsforhope.com. Sponsored by the Partners of Alabama's Challenge and the Alabama Broadcasters Association.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve. And we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
At Stella at 5 Points, living isn't just about having an apartment, it's about living artfully. Imagine waking up with the upscale feel of Atlanta or Nashville right here in the heart of Huntsville. Modern, stylish apartments, open layouts, stainless steel appliances, and resort-inspired amenities. Nestled in vibrant 5 Points, you'll enjoy walkability, parks, dining, and quick access to downtown without the chaos. Stella at 5 Points. Live artfully. Live Stella.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
Welcome back. Just about done with hour one of Talking Ball. And we just had Mark McLeod on talking a little Florida football there. And he mentioned that if it goes terribly wrong this week against Texas, and we're not trying to add fuel to the fire, but you look at Florida's schedule and it's Texas, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, then a bye week for the Gators. So if Billy Napier and company can't get it on track, if it does go bad, there is another bye week for the Gators coming up in 3 weeks.
Yeah, there is.
And so you would think if they were going to make a change in season, that is when you would make it, maybe after the Texas A&M game stuff. But I mean, we're not saying that Billy Napier is going to get fired. We're not insinuating we don't know anything, but the trend can't continue.
Well, I'll just say the one thing I'll be surprised at is if the players let go of the rope.
Right.
They haven't done that with Billy Napier throughout this 4 years. I think they're going to keep fighting.
That's the key. Arkansas let go of the rope Saturday against Notre Dame. They let it go. Yes. All right. We are up against the hour break. 60 minutes down, 60 minutes to go. We're going to talk Miami Hurricane football coming up next.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Shane Van Gisbergen, the minus 105 favorite to win the Bank of America Roval 400 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Kyle Larson plus 850. William Byron and Christopher Bell are both 10-1. Atlanta Falcons had the week off. They'll return to action against the Buffalo Bills in Week 6. Tennessee Titans outscored 120-51 in their 0-4 start. They're a 7.5-point dog this week at the Arizona Cardinals. Alabama Crimson Tide bet down from a 13.5 to a 10.5-point home favorite against Vanderbilt at Bryant-Denny Stadium. 55.5 the total. Troy laying 2.5 against South Alabama. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Hour 2 of Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. By the way, Hour 1 did not get to thank Talent Heating and Air right out of the show.
We already almost had you had a sugar attack.
Yes.
Because of strawberry.
Yes. Talent Heating and Air did provide everything for Hour 1. We appreciate them. SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center helping us with Hour number 2. We appreciate everything they do. It was so funny because you watch the way things unfolded this past Saturday in college football. And I know a lot of people were thinking that College Game Day would be in Tallahassee.
They would have if Florida State had held up their end of the deal, I think.
Yes, I totally agree with you. Everybody else agrees with you. But the one team that has held up their end of the deal the entire way are the Miami Hurricanes, who have held up their end. And this weekend, if you look at the college football slate of night games, it's easily I guess you could say the headline of night games. No disrespect to Mississippi State and Texas A&M, but Mississippi State is going on the road for the first time playing a huge game, and they're 14.5-point underdogs. This is third-ranked Miami, 18th-ranked Florida State. Florida State trying to rebound from last week's loss to Virginia. And Miami and Mario Cristobal, so far, along with Carson Beck, have answered every challenge that has been put in front of them, including that win against Notre Dame.
Against 1988, no question. And if you look at Miami's schedule going forward, they're going to be favored in every game, including 4.5 on the road in Tallahassee. And, I've always been a fan of Mario's. I've criticized him due to some of the mystifying losses at Oregon and Miami. But the one thing I know about him is he's one of the best recruiters Nick Saban ever had, one of the best recruiters in college football. And he's put together a roster in this ACC, to me, that they have got a very, very strong opportunity to go undefeated in the regular season and reach the ACC championship game. And then they will already have their spot in the playoff. But
they have a 67% chance of making the playoffs, according to the ESPN FPI.
I mean, they could be the number 1 overall seed. This is very possible. But we're going to bring someone that we've had on in the past. He does a great job for Locked On Canes. He does so for the Locked On Sports Network. He also does daily the Locked On ACC. He also does post game for 104.3 in Miami to post game for the Hurricanes, and that is Alex Donno, who's been kind enough to join us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Alex, welcome back to Huntsville. You're with Drew and Scott. How are you?
Thank you so much, guys, for having me. It's great to be here. And yeah, I heard you talking about, Miami answering every challenge so far. There is going to be a new challenge for them this Saturday. It's Miami's first road game. So, I mean, what a way to start your road schedule, going to your, most bitter and historic rival, to play a game in Tallahassee with that war chant blaring. So that's one of the challenges Miami hasn't faced so far. They're going to see this Saturday.
This rivalry with Florida State. I mean, I know a lot of people were a lot of people were hoping, that Florida State does not lose to Virginia. Then it's a battle of unbeatens. But it's been a little bit. Am I correct that it's been a little bit since there's been this much at stake for these two playing this game together?
Yeah, it's hard to even remember the last time both teams seemed to be this good at the same time. And, I was born in the early 80s, and I'm, a lifelong Miami guy. So I was very spoiled in the 80s and 90s, where there was a stretch where every single season game was number one versus number two, number one versus number three. And it was like a national championship eliminator for most of my childhood, kind of into my early adulthood. So there's often been times where the game hasn't meant as much. So this one's huge. Despite what happened to Florida State and Charlottesville, they're still a top 20 football team. So this is a big matchup. And this is, the winner of this game obviously is going to have a really good chance to possibly win the ACC this year. So this feels like the most important one we've had in a long time. But even, guys, in some of the years when either one of the teams is really good, the other's really bad, or they're both not very good, these games tend to be very close. There's been a few exceptions to that rule, but there have been some years when one team was supposed to just wipe the floor with the other, and it doesn't always go that way when you have the rivalry game factor.
Well, and Alex, I got to say this too. In the 90s, that's when, when I was going through my early adulthood, we know that the epicenter of college football was the triangle. It was Miami, Florida, and Florida State, but Miami and Florida had really stopped playing each other. So there wasn't a whole lot of Steve Spurrier against the Canes. So Florida and Florida State was kind of the barometer. You're right about those games always being a war, always being almost 1 versus 2, even though they weren't in the same conference. And now they're in the same league. But this Miami team, I will say it does seem different. I know Cam Ward was the number 1 pick and was a great player, but certainly Carson Beck's played well. They seem to be more physical this year. They run the football better. And then where they really the change at defensive coordinator has made a world of difference, in my opinion.
Yeah, the team is it's more physical, like you mentioned, and the team's a lot more balanced. Anybody who watched Miami last year knew that it was basically Cam Ward just having to outscore the opposition because the defense wasn't making stops. So far that's not been the case. And, of course, Miami went up against, a Florida offense a couple weeks ago that's not exactly a world beater, but Miami still held them to, I think, their lowest yardage outputs of this century. Miami's done a good job with all the opponents they faced so far defensively. And a big part of that, guys, has been what Miami offers up front in the pass rush with Reuben Bain Jr., who's according to Pro Football Focus, the highest graded player in all of college football right now, and Akeem Mesidor, who's not very far behind him. Miami's edge attack has been really good. The tackling has been much better than it was last year so far. So we're going to see them keep getting tested because Florida State may end up being the most dynamic offense that they've gone against so far. So we'll see if they have the answers for what Gus Malzahn is going to cook up with Tommy Castellanos. But offensively for Miami, you also hit the nail on the head, Drew, that the physicality up front has led to a ton of success with Mark Fletcher Jr. and Marty Brown in the running game. And, Carson Beck has been very good so far. He probably had his worst game so far this season against Florida, but he's still been very efficient. And something that is really appreciated about Beck is he does a good job taking what the defense gives to him. If the check down is all that's there, that's okay. He doesn't have to go for the jugular on every play. If he's got to throw it away and live to, play another down, that's fine. So I think he's done a good job playing within the context of the offense. And the physicality, like you said, has really been, I think, what set Miami apart from a lot of other teams in the country so far.
Yeah, and Florida State comes in too, and Miami's going to have to answer Florida State's physicality. Florida State comes in, they're top 2 in the country in rushing the ball. Miami's been very good. Florida State's been very good. Does Miami match up pretty well, though, you think, physicality-wise with Florida State's offensive front?
Yeah, I think Miami physically, matches up very well on both sides of the football. I think what's going to be the key here is communication on defense and gap integrity and trying to contain Castellanos as much as possible because the thing about a Gus Malzahn offense,
yes,
from what I've seen going back to his time at Auburn and everywhere he's been is so much eye candy, so much misdirection. Miami is a team that really swarm tackles. Like oftentimes you'll have 5-6 guys on the ball, but if you've got 5-6 guys going in the wrong direction, that puts your remaining defenders a little bit on an island and in a bad situation. So I really think that the chess match in this one between Corey Heatherman, Miami's new defensive coordinator, and Gus Malzahn, the offensive coordinator at Florida State, is really going to be a key because I think FSU is going to want to turn this into a track meet offensively where Miami would probably rather slow the game down and play more of a possession game.
Those are all words Alabama fans do not want to have to hear.
Now,
Gap
Alex,
integrity.
If you want to watch what not the hell to do, just break down the Alabama film.
That's exactly what they did in week 1. The gap integrity was off, but yes,
eye candy. Just not trusting your eyes, just catching people. But but I got to say too. I know this is kind of what Mario has been building toward, but I don't know that there's been a bigger impact than Corey Heatherton and what he's done as defensive coordinator coming over from Minnesota. Because I'll be blunt, I of course I know PJ Fleck and I know about him and I know he's done a solid job at Minnesota. I didn't know a whole lot about this dude when Mario, replaced him, with after he dismissed Lance Guidry, who's now an analyst back in Louisiana with LSU. But this dude, there's been a noticeable difference since he took over. What's been kind of the biggest impact that he's had?
Very, very aggressive, and he lets guys play more free, which was, I think that, the previous defensive coordinator, Lance Guidry, probably over-schemed a little bit, which is, I think Corey Heatherman just, he more fits kind of the history of what Miami defenses have looked like for generations. And I also think that one of the reasons why this was a good hire for Mario Cristobal is a shared philosophy, because he and Heatherman both come from the Greg Schiano coaching tree. Heatherman worked for Schiano at Rutgers, so I'm sure Schiano gave Corey a good recommendation to Cristobal, and the philosophies mesh because they both learned a lot about their defensive philosophies from Schiano. And so it's funny because going back to spring practice and fall camp, when they were installing the new defense and, you'd talk to Miami players about what it's like playing for Corey Heatherman, and they would smile. Like they have a lot more fun and a lot more freedom playing in that defense. So I think that's been the biggest difference so far. And there's obviously a big emphasis on swarming to the football, big emphasis on creating turnovers, which is, of course, something Miami's going to try to do. Florida State did turn it over 3 times against Virginia. That was one of the reasons why Virginia was able to pull off the upset that they did. Miami's going to try to do something similar.
Boy, we wake up on a Wednesday morning right now, October 1st, and it's the Miami Hurricanes right now, the best football program in the state of Florida at this moment.
Yeah, at this moment, and they have an opportunity to basically seal, we call it the Florida Cup down here, which isn't up for grabs every single year. It's only up for grabs in the years that Miami, Florida, and Florida State all play each other. And in fact, it may not happen again in the foreseeable future. With the SEC going to the 9-game schedule, I don't think Florida is going to do too many home and homes with Miami in the future, understandably, but they're going to keep Florida State on the schedule. So Miami has the opportunity to win maybe the final Florida Cup we see in this era of college football.
Yeah, and this is crazy, too, because you already kind of mentioned it earlier in the conversation. This is Alex Donno, Locked On Canes, also Locked On ACC Daily. And as we said, he does post-game on 104.3 over there in Miami. It's interesting because they don't leave the state of Florida until November.
Yeah, it's one of those years where it's I guess you take it even though the back half of the schedule gets a little weird because Miami ends their season with 2 straight road games at Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech obviously has been overall a mess this year,
Yes.
even though they did just beat NC State, which was a huge surprise. And then Miami's got to play at Pittsburgh at the final game of the season. So 2 road games and games that could possibly be cold weather that, Miami players aren't necessarily used to, but, not having to leave the state of Florida till early November, you will take that. So that's something Miami has an opportunity to take advantage of here before. I think it's SMU and Dallas, I think is the first one on the road.
Let me ask you, since you do a lot with the ACC as well, right now Miami is the class of the league right now, you would have to believe. What do you think of the collapse in Clemson? SMU is still there, but the league as a whole right now, where do you think the league is at as a whole?
Yeah, the Clemson collapse has kind of been shocking. And I almost feel like there's this curse that when the ACC media is super high on a certain program that they're destined to fail. Because a year ago, Florida State was almost a unanimous pick to win the ACC. They went 2-10 last year. I'm not saying Clemson's necessarily going to go 2-10, but it's been a pretty rough start for them being a unanimous favorite to win the conference. Cade Klubnik has regressed to his 2023 form. Clemson's defensive line, which was supposed to be arguably the best in the country, has been far from that so far. And I think maybe we're starting to learn that Dabo Swinney should have embraced the transfer portal era more than he did. So far, SMU has not looked that great to start the season, but they still have, a lot of conference opportunities in front of them. Louisville got a nice comeback win against Pitt. I think Louisville will be in the mix.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech should be in the mix because they've got a really easy conference schedule, but they had to get bailed out by the officials to beat Wake Forest on the road. So it's, we'll see what happens there. Virginia is an interesting case because even though we all saw UVA a couple of weeks ago lose to NC State, that wasn't technically a conference game because they scheduled each other non-conference as an extra game. So Virginia is technically unbeaten in the ACC after upsetting Florida State. So they might have an opportunity to sort of be a Cinderella in the ACC. And Duke is, I think, 2-0 to start ACC play. So there's a bunch of teams that are in the mix. I think Miami and Florida State, though, are the best 2 teams in the conference. And if Miami beats Florida State, though, they're 0-2 in the ACC. They're practically eliminated from the ACC championship. But if Florida State beats Miami, I think there is a possibility that if both sides win out the rest of the way, that they could face each other again in the ACC championship game.
Yeah, that's going to be the really interesting thing, and because I was looking at that myself. I think Miami's a huge favorite to get there, but who might be with them? And certainly, a lot of people would probably like to see Georgia Tech and Miami play a rematch because that's kind of where the season came off the rails for Miami last year, was getting shocked in that crazy ending against Tech.
Yeah, and I know that I think Mario Cristobal would probably enjoy that opportunity because Tech has beaten Miami, and they don't play them in the regular season this year, so that would be the only chance to see it. But Tech has beaten Miami 2 straight years. It was, like you said, kind of derailed their season last year. The year before, people may remember what happened with the knee that was or was not taken. So that was 2 straight years Georgia Tech handed Miami big L's. So I don't think Miami would mind if they get an opportunity to see Georgia Tech in the conference title game.
What Alex Donno just said, that's why Bama better be ready for Vanderbilt, because it doesn't mean a thing. Because, this stuff can get crazy, no doubt about it. But, again, Alex Donno, Locked On
Good
Canes,
stuff.
Locked On ACC. We appreciate the time very much, sir. And as we said, he does post-game for the Miami Hurricanes on 1043 WQAM. Thank you, and let everybody know what your schedule is coming up. And I know you guys do that Locked On stuff each and every day.
Yeah, we'll have a new episode of Locked On Canes coming today. Also a new episode of Locked On ACC, where we're going to put out our new ACC power rankings after last weekend. And all week long, we've been talking Miami, Florida State on Locked On Canes. You can find it anywhere you get your podcast. Just search Locked On Canes or search Locked On Canes on YouTube, and we'll be there for you.
Thank you, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
All right, let's get a break in. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone after this.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
At Stella at 5 Points, living isn't just about having an apartment, it's about living artfully. Imagine waking up with the upscale feel of Atlanta or Nashville right here in the heart of Huntsville. Modern, stylish apartments, open layouts, stainless steel appliances, and resort-inspired amenities. Nestled in vibrant 5 Points, you'll enjoy walkability, parks, dining, and quick access to downtown without the chaos. Stella at 5 Points. Live heartfully. Live Stella.
I'm here with Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
TalentHVAC.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a bag compressor or leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490. AL certain number 21014.
Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
So, welcome back in, 8:22. Apparently, there's a food sampling display going on outside the studio.
I don't know. I just saw a.
There's root beer. There's Dr. Pepper
root beer ice cream
float or whatever. You're not going to eat any.
I'd have to smell it first. I don't know. I mean,
Drew wants a cup of the ice cream.
I didn't say that. I just said I wanted to smell it.
Why do you want to smell it?
I don't know, man. I've never been.
You ate both strawberry Swiss cake rolls. You can eat this.
I guess it smells okay. I've just never been a big root beer person, man.
It's Dr. Pepper. It's not root beer.
I thought they said Dr. Pepper
no,
root beer float.
It's a Dr. Pepper float ice cream.
Oh, well, if there's not root beer, I mean, somebody mentioned root beer.
No, it's Dr. Pepper ice cream.
Okay.
As if we need to give you more sugar.
I don't know. I mean, people are just bringing stuff. I didn't ask for it.
Okay. Anyway, yesterday we touched on it briefly, very, very briefly. And actually, I told you during the break yesterday, we didn't even bring it up on the show.
Right.
And it's the column by Matt Hayes from the USA Today Network. You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah,
because
Matt Hayes is an idiot.
Because the article is entitled, and I quote, "Only Urban Meyer can fix this Auburn mess." And it details, and he says, his first sentence right in the article says, Hugh Freeze says the product at Auburn is unacceptable. He's going to evaluate everything.
I want to know something.
Okay.
If he supposedly turned down Texas and negotiated,
yes,
and he didn't go there,
yes,
and he didn't go to USC, and
yes,
they hired Lincoln Sharman,
yes,
why the hell would he go to Auburn? And Auburn's got a really good program, and they have a lot of tradition, but why would he go to Auburn?
It says in the article, Matt Hayes says, if you will hire stained and discredited coaches like Bruce Pearl and Freeze, how surely you'll throw unthinkable cash at Urban Meyer to see if one of the greatest coaches of the generation wants one more shot at the SEC.
I mean, I can't see that. I could see Lane Kiffin a few years ago, and that almost happened, but I wasn't surprised it fell apart late. But I couldn't see Urban Meyer going to Auburn. I just couldn't.
He points out in the article that Auburn hired Hugh Freeze because of his offensive geniusness, and it ignored NCAA violations and personal character flaws, all of which Urban Meyer has. So basically, what he's saying is, if Auburn took a chance on hiring character-flawed coaches, why not hire one more in Urban Meyer? But the job's not open. That's one thing to remember.
First of all,
the job's not open. There is no opening yet. And I say yet because just like we said with Billy Napier, if things go incredibly south, then yes. But right now there is no opening at Auburn.
Well, since Herb didn't take Texas and that ended up being Sark,
right?
And then we know that Lincoln Sharman's been in Los Angeles. I haven't heard any buzz until this stupid article that was written to get clicks. Nobody has talked about Herb coming out of retirement and coaching.
Do you think because he said no to those two, Texas and USC?
I don't think
because he doesn't want me
to coach right now. I mean, the only other job besides, Texas and USC made some sense because we know how deep Texas pockets are.
Right.
And they were coming to the SEC,
right,
at some point in time. I mean, and by then they had announced they were. I know. Look. I understand Sark was already there, but even if Texas is still the brand. I mean, even they had the best program in the Big 12, so that would have been attractive to Urban. But I've always said this too. But see, now I guess that's going to amp back up because Saban's retired. Saban ran him out of the league at Florida.
Right.
Because Saban was starting to dominate now, but Saban's gone. But again, I know he negotiated with Texas. They've got the deepest pockets there is. He did not go there. And then USC, and now they're even in his old stomping grounds, the Big Ten, but they weren't in the Big Ten at that point. But still,
right,
they've got very deep pockets. It's just a couple of brands that I thought, have been at some point in time in the last 25 years, the best, a national champion,
right,
Texas in
right.
2005, nearly won it all again, 2009 till Alabama, snuffed that out. But they've still been a factor. And then USC under Pete Carroll, you've seen USC with the right coach. So both those programs with the right coach have won it all. Now, Auburn caught lightning in a bottle. They won it all in 2010, nearly won it in 2013. But with Nick Saban there, it never made a lot of sense. I still don't think it makes sense for Urban because I just, once he didn't take those two jobs, which right now one would be in the SEC, one would be in the Big Ten, I just felt like he didn't want to coach. He flamed out in the NFL with Jacksonville. The only other place, and he nearly took the job back in 2005 when he went to Florida, was but he's been there, I think this is his third year. The only other job that I thought Herb might come out of retirement to take, and they're not in a conference, but we know how high profile they are. He worked for Lou Holtz there, was Notre Dame. And so now that's the only other job if Marcus Freeman, ended up leaving Notre Dame for some reason.
Right. And he's on good footing there.
Then
very
maybe
good footing.
Herb would be interested in that. But I just couldn't see Auburn. I don't see that. And Auburn has deep pockets. I'm not saying they don't have money, but I just don't see Urban Meyer returning to coaching, period. I don't think he's going to.
You bring up Lincoln Sharman.
Yeah.
And remember, USC had to make that trip over to take on Burt this past weekend.
Yeah.
And Burt actually got the win. Lincoln Riley, by the way, do you know his record now against ranked opponents at USC with that loss to Burt?
It's only probably a little slightly better than James Franklin's.
4-11.
There you go. It's just slightly better.
4-11 for Sharman after losing to Burt.
Yeah.
All right, let's get a break in. When we come back,
if you want to hear some hilarity, go back and listen to Jerry Glanville talk about USC.
Let's get a break in.
And their lack of physicality.
Hey, we got a presentation up next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Travel accommodations for 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, provided by University Kia. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly to partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 80s. Temperatures a bit above average when you consider the fact that it's the first day of October, dropping into the mid 60s as we head into the overnight. A mostly sunny sky Thursday afternoon. Temperatures only climbing into the lower 80s and then dropping into the upper 50s Thursday night, early Friday morning.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
There's a lot of talk these days about who's the biggest. I'm attorney Gary Lackey. Bigger doesn't equal better.
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. We know we're not the biggest. We don't want to be.
I'm attorney Justin Lackey. We're big enough to handle your case and get you the help you need,
but small enough to welcome you. Where you're never just a number, you're part of our family.
The Lackey Law Firm, 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor at Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Hey folks, Arthur Seed, managing partner at University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Alabama and Auburn football. Swing by University Kia today and check out our huge selections of brand new Kias, including the spacious Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the slick new K5, the sporty Kia Seltos. We've got perfect cars for every lifestyle and budget. Visit universitykia.com to view all our amazing offers and get pre-approved amenities, because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide, War Eagle.
97.7 The Zone.
Now on Saturday, you are willing to give a little extra. Then you, because of your preparation and the things I'm trying to get across to you, and if we do that as a team, 11 at a time, 4 years from now, we'll be walking out of here national champion. And I'll tell you this, I expect nothing less.
97.7 The Zone.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I'm American made.
Each week, they lace it up. Each week, we'll present our Team of the Week.
Get in here! I got one thing to say.
So it's time for the Bryant Bank Team of the Week presentation.
To hand out $500 this week. Just going to journey right up the road. And so far, a big thank you to Bryant Bank this season. Hard to total up exactly how much they have handed out. This is week 5, so you figure we've probably handed out close to $5,000 so far already this football season. And we've got more coming as well, because not only are we doing football teams, we are doing any sport that's being played right now for Team of the Week. We will continue to do so, and we've got a couple ones coming up over the next week or so from other sports that we will be handing out. But today, we are concentrating on football.
Yes, we are. We last awarded them a Team of the Week in his first season in 2023. He made a playoff run in year 1. Last year, reset things, and he's right now. After a slow start in year 3, they are really starting to come into their own and play great football. They went on the road to the Capitol. You heard it on our streaming network last week as the Mae Jemison Jaguars built a 34-7 lead on the road, which is very difficult to do. Spartan's a tough place to play. They win the game 34-27. And because of that, right now, they are the Bryant Bank Team of the Week, trying to make a playoff run for the second time under our next guest in 6A Region 8, and that is third-year head football coach Rico White, who is leading these Mae Jemison Jaguars, one of the most athletic teams you're going to watch in our area, and they are the Bryant Bank Team of the Week. Coach, you're with Drew and Scott this morning. We appreciate your time during this busy schedule. I know you guys are preparing to go to Southside Gadsden for a big region game, but congratulations on a huge road win last week, sir.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be here, and it was a great win, and I'm just proud of the kid and the program.
Yeah, take us through that game a little bit. You get off to a fast start. Talk a little bit about that game.
Well, every game we tell the kids we must start fast because I tell you what, lately, the first few games, offensively, we started pretty slow. Our defense held well, but offensively, we hadn't been playing very well. But we came out that night, and, everything was clicking. The kids was on point as far as the offensive line, the biggest thing. They really came off the ball and was able to control the things up front, and we jumped off to a big lead, and we persevered and pulled it out.
Yeah, no question about that, Coach. You guys started 0-2, but are 3-1 in your last 4, including a shutout over rival Lee. That's always a big game. I know Joey Kent was our good friend was honored, during that game. But that's always great to beat a city rival and someone that it means a lot to in the community. But talk about what's been the key to you guys in this 4-game stretch going 3-1.
Well, I think the biggest thing is just keep improving every day. Keep things in order. You always want to talk about faith, family, and team, but at the end of the day, you got to do the work. So the kids been working very hard, and they want to win, and we've been trying to figure out what is it. So we done modified things and, made things more simpler for the kids, and it's working. So we plan to continue, and hopefully, they'll carry us through the season.
Well, you look ahead to this week, and, last week was a non-region game, but you were able to work on some things, fine-tune some things. You jump back into region play, as we mentioned. You got a Gadsden City team coming up. Right now, D, this is where it gets real. This back half of the season, you enter this week with a legitimate shot still of being and controlling your destiny and being in the playoffs and even being near the top for a home field advantage in round one.
Yeah, if you get this win over Southside Gadsden on the road on Friday, 3-1 in 6A Region 8 is huge against Miles Holcomb's Southside squad.
Absolutely. I know Coach Holcomb, he's going to have them very prepared. So we got our hands full. But I tell you what, I feel every game is winnable. You come in the game, every game you come in, you expect to win. You don't make one bigger than larger than the next one. But we are totally focused. The kids are excited, and we know our hands going to be full. We're going in their house. But I tell you what, I think the Jaguars going to really put up an effort.
Defense travels. And right now you guys are only giving up 19.4 points a game. You've only allowed 97 points total this year. What's worked with the defense?
I tell you what, once again, we are athletic, but I tell you what, the teamwork and gelling together and wanting to be great. They play fast. They swarm to the ball, and the communication between them. And I have a great defense coordinator, Coach Jalen Swain, and the other coaches. They do a great job of game planning, and it's been working for us so far.
It really has, and I had a chance to see you guys play against Huntsville, and that game was a lot closer than the score indicated. It was 23-6, but there was 3 or 4 plays in that game where you guys had receivers open. If there were some catches made, as far as the fast start goes, we just talked about. Then that the start of that game could have been much different, and the result could have been as well.
Absolutely, I agree with you. We some plays that we missed on, but I mean, even I can go back to Athens game. I mean,
right.
We threw 3 interceptions, and they got 18 points from the offense at the beginning of the game. Started out, they was 18-0. I mean, so offensively we haven't been playing well. But I tell you what, if our kids just control the ball and play well on defense, we should be great.
What have you seen on film from Gadsden City that kind of stands, or Southside? Southside. What stands on the film for you?
The biggest thing, they big, they physical, and Coach Holcomb, as a lot of people know, they're going to be well coached, and like I said, they're athletic. They got guys in the right spot that can hurt you or beat you. So we got to be sound defensively, but we expect a great effort again, and offensively, control the ball and make plays when it's time to make plays.
Mm-hmm. It's because this is huge for these kids. I mean, you get to 3-1 in the region, you almost guarantee yourself a playoff spot. But the biggest thing, Coach, is trying to get that home field advantage in the first round, because that can be immeasurable. Is that something that are you just taking it one game at a time? Have you mentioned that to the kids? How are you kind of handling this shot to still stay in this region race? Because of course, that you guys played Fort Payne a couple of weeks ago. That was a tough one, but they're near the top of the region standings as well, or at the top. But how are you handling with the kids as far as their shot at potentially finishing near the top of 6A Region 8?
Well, it's big for the program. It's big for the kids. But, you don't want to build one game up bigger than the next, and you don't want to overwhelm them with the mindset of you got to win, which we want to win, and that's our expectation. But it's one game at a time, and it'll be a major milestone for the program, definitely, to get that home field advantage, and that's what we're shooting for. And but I tell you what, I think the mindset our kids have right now and the way we've been practicing this week is attainable. We can make it happen.
Well, Coach, on behalf of 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, and Bryant Bank, we're proud to present you guys as our Team of the Week this week. Bryant Bank contributing $500 to your program. Coach, mid-season honors. Just talk about a little bit about being named Team of the Week.
Hey, it's excellent. I tell you what, you talking about building a foundation when y'all honor us like that, it's major. And it helped the mindset. It helped the mindset of the kids to let them know. I tell you never know who's watching. And this prove it. And like I said, for y'all to do that with us and for this to happen, I couldn't thank you. I mean, I'm ecstatic about it. So thank y'all so much.
And then, Coach, before you go, I know you've just lauded your coaching staff and the job they've done. But in this 4-game stretch, you've gone 3-1. You played a really tough Fort Payne team, played hard in that game over at Milton Frank Stadium. Tell us, in your opinion, after watching the film, who has grown the most in helping you go on this run offensively and defensively?
Well, up front, I mean, I can't say it enough. You know, we were young. I have 4 returning starters next year, and they're young, and they got to grow up fast. So they grew up fast, and they know the expectation, you know, and now I'm putting the standard and everything together and working hard. They really grew up. We got skilled guys everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, the main ingredients up front on both sides of the ball. And I think defensively and offensively up front, we really not matured.
Well, we really wanted to pay homage to the Mae Jemison Jaguars. Our Bryant Bank Team of the Week will certainly be out there later today to present your program with that $500. We wouldn't be able to do this without Bryant Bank, and we certainly love to be able to showcase Huntsville City Schools, and we look forward to seeing your team later this season as well as they continue to try to make a run at a region championship and a home playoff berth. Good luck and safe travels to Southside Gadsden. Hope you guys can win that 4th game in 5 weeks and continue this upward climb. But again, congratulations on the win at Sparkman to keep the hot streak going, 34-27. And we'll see you later over on the palatial campus over there at Mae Jemison High School. We appreciate the time.
Hey, I appreciate y'all, and go Jaguars.
All right, let's get a break in. When we come back, your tomorrow's headlines today.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
We are a championship school, and school is in session.
Makes a catch, makes them bang into each other, stays on his feet, breaks a tackle, scores!
Join us Saturday as the Crimson Tide take on Vanderbilt at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Our coverage begins at 11:30 on your home for Alabama football.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
Hey there, everybody. Bob Baumhauer here, letting you know that we understand that times are tough and we truly believe value matters. So, by popular demand, we brought back our Inflation Bites menu featuring scratch-made meals that will make the whole family smile, and your wallet, too. Menu items start at just $7.99, and any entree comes with a free beverage. Try our classic tailgate burger for just $8.99, or our hearty Bam Bam chicken platter for $9.99. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com. It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Time keeps on slipping.
Welcome back in. Tomorrow's headlines today, wrapping us all up. UCLA and offensive coordinator. This was released yesterday.
Help!
Tino Sunseri.
Help!
Tino Sunseri and UCLA have parted ways. He was the offensive coordinator there at UCLA.
Get me out of here!
Adios, Tino Sunseri. Now, though, how does this, though? This name sounds familiar. You know who is now the offensive coordinator for UCLA?
There's no telling.
Jerry Neuheisel.
Oh, Rick's son, huh?
Rick's son, yes.
Golly,
Yes.
he decided to take on the Titanic, huh? Wow. Help!
That ship is going down.
I mean, it's taking on water, bud. I mean, good Lord.
And I did see this yesterday. Now, it is worth mentioning. It's on the high school level. Your coach put this out. 7A Area 7 next year for basketball.
Yeah.
For all area play, there will be a shot clock.
Yeah, I figured this was coming. I mean, I think we knew this was coming.
That's a good thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, everybody been wanting a shot clock and wanting to take it. I mean, every time I've been to an event with a shot clock, it's been, now, especially during the high school season, it's been well run.
Yeah.
And it hasn't really affected Huntsville at all when they played with one. And I think the kids like it, and I think it's a great move.
All right, so that's your college football. We mentioned it off the top. We mentioned it briefly. Major League Baseball Wild Card Series. Game ones are all in the books. Tigers, Cubs, Red Sox, and Dodgers all victorious last night. We did mention that it is worth noting that Casey Mize, the former Auburn Tiger, number 1 pick, will get the start today for the Tigers. And you've got games coming up today at noon. You got a game coming up at 2, game coming up at 5, and a game coming up at 8. All first-round winners have a chance to close out those series because they're a best-of-3 series. So the Tigers, Cubs, Red Sox, and Dodgers can all wrap it all up today.
Let's go Red Sox.
Yeah, you got the gear on today.
Yeah, I do. Hate the Yankees. Always have.
256-576-4977.
Red Sox guy.
If you want to join the program for a little bit, you can. We've sampled the strawberry Swiss cake rolls today. I'm disappointed you have not tried the ice cream.
Did they put it in the freezer? I don't know.
No, it's sitting right out there on the counter.
Why are they letting it melt?
It's sitting on the counter.
It's a whole friggin'
It's a half gallon of ice cream. Yes.
I mean, come on.
And I am shocked you have not tried it.
Well, Steve was trying to put some kind of bowls together, but I think they kept falling apart.
All right.
Those waffle cone bowls.
Yeah, it's just I think it's just a cone bowl. I don't think it's a waffle cone bowl.
I couldn't tell. I heard a lot of jingling.
Texas A&M, by the way, is a 14.5-point favorite over Mississippi State on Saturday. Does Texas A&M cover this one?
It's going to be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if Mississippi State could keep the game close. Because I do think that A&M's talented. Their defense made some progress against Auburn.
Right.
But if Mississippi State does score a lot of points and move the football up and down the field, what does that say for Auburn and Hugh Freeze during this bye week? I mean, that's just a missed opportunity to me, for Auburn, because I still was surprised. I definitely wouldn't have taken the under in that matchup. I was more along Jason Caldwell's take that I took A&M to win, but I would have thought it would have been a 38-30 type game,
right,
instead of 16-10.
All right. Other ones that we haven't touched on. That's really the only other one. And then Kentucky and Georgia. Georgia is at home.
I'm taking Georgia. It's 20.5.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I was looking at Kentucky's schedule. We could be talking another 3-9 or 4-8. And I know that I think the buyout for Stoops is like $35 million. But, man, I just don't see how this is not a repeat of last year. This looks bad because they got Shulit and just got the hell beat out of them. I mean, they started off well in the game in Columbia against South Carolina, but it certainly didn't end well. And I just see it seems to be, in my opinion, getting worse at Kentucky instead of getting better. And that's sad because Stoops has done a heck of a job there.
Do you think would you take the over-under now because you got Arkansas? That's one right now. Would you take the over-under on SEC job openings at 3? Would you take the over or under at 3?
I'd probably take the over because, heck, we could have some interconference movement because if Coach Drink leaves and goes to Florida, or if Lane Kiffin does, that opens up another job in the SEC.
Do you think either one of those are likely? If things, obviously, Billy Napier, Mark even said it, just a matter of time before he is gone.
Yeah, I don't think Billy's going to survive. I don't see a hot streak coming.
You think either one of those are going to Florida?
Well, I would personally think, I know Bruce Marshall of the Vegas Insider, he thinks out in Vegas that Coach Drink is the favorite.
Right.
I've been championing Coach Drink since Atlanta.
That would be a home run hire in your mind.
Yes, but then that would open up Missouri. So, you know, who would be in line to take the Missouri job? Does Lane Kiffin want to go to Florida?
Is the Missouri job a good job to take right now?
I mean, they've got a very aggressive NIL law.
Right.
I think it's not Florida.
No. Not by any stretch.
Job.
No.
I mean, it is a solid SEC job. I'd sure as hell go there before I'd go to UCLA. Good Lord.
That is a dumpster fire of epic proportions, is it not?
Yeah, and you have to live out in that state, too, with Jimmy Kimmel and the rest of the pissants.
So you are never living in California?
Hell no. Under no circumstances.
Cross that one off the list.
Help!
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service